Alex sat alone at the edge of the research outpost, staring at the alien sky. The twin moons reflected pale blue light on the jagged mountains of Viridia 9. He had been sent here months ago to study the planet's flora and fauna, a job that was supposed to be quiet, safe, and predictable. Instead, it felt lonely, as if the entire galaxy had forgotten him. He leaned back, sipping from his water container, and listened to the distant rustle of the alien forest. The trees here were taller than any on Earth, with thick, translucent leaves that shimmered in the wind. Some glowed faintly at night, pulsing in colors he could not name. Alex had cataloged dozens of species, but nothing had prepared him for what happened next. A soft voice called out his name. "Alex!" He froze. The voice was familiar. Too familiar. It was not the usual hum of the outpost's systems, nor the sound of the wind through the alien trees. It was human. "Who's there?" Alex called, standing. His pulse quickened. "Do you remember me, human?" the voice asked softly. "Your old friend." Alex's heart skipped. He scanned the dimly lit clearing, but saw nothing at first. Then, stepping out from behind a tree, a figure appeared. A woman, humanoid in shape, with silver hair that shimmered under the twin moons, and eyes that glowed faintly golden. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, but her expression was full of recognition, and a strange sadness. I don't," Alex began, confusion thick in his throat. "I don't remember you." The woman's lips curled into a sad smile. "That is not surprising. They erased most of your memories." Alex took a step back. Who are you? What do you mean?" "My name is Lyra," she said. "And you?" "You used to know me very well. We fought together once, a long time ago." Alex shook his head. "I don't understand. I've been here for months alone. I don't remember fighting anyone, or knowing anyone named Lyra." Lyra's eyes softened. "That is because the Empire wanted it that way. They erased the memory of humans who helped them fight, or who tried to stop them. You were one of us, Alex. You were part of something bigger than yourself." Alex's mind raced. Memories of his life as a scientist clashed with the images Lyra's words painted. Could it be true? Could he have fought in some secret war and simply forgotten? He stared at her, searching her face for any hint of deception. But there was none. She looked genuine, honest. "Why are you here now?" he asked. "Why show up to me on this planet?" "Because the Empire still hunts humans," Lyra said, "and they are experimenting. They want to control what you can do. You need to remember. You need to help." Alex swallowed hard. I don't know if I can. I barely even understand what you are saying." Lyra stepped closer. "You will, Alex. I promise. But first, you need to see for yourself." She held out her hand. It trembled slightly, but it was firm. Alex hesitated, then reached out. The moment their hands touched, a strange warmth passed through him. His head filled with flashes, glimpses of battles, alien ships, strange weapons, and humans fighting alongside aliens in ways he could not explain. It was brief, confusing, and overwhelming, but it was real. What is happening?" Alex whispered. "You are remembering," Lyra said softly. "Just a little. Enough to know the truth." The wind shifted, and the trees whispered around them. In that quiet, strange moment, Alex realized how much he had missed. He had spent months alone, cataloging plants and animals, thinking his life was ordinary. But now, standing here with Lyra, he felt the weight of a history he had forgotten, a mission he had abandoned without knowing it. Lyra tilted her head, studying him. "I know it is hard. I know it feels impossible. But you and we have a chance to make things right. The Empire is still out there. They are still dangerous, and they will not stop." Alex's mind worked furiously. I don't even know where to start. Start here, Lyra said, pointing to the dark forest beyond the outpost. There is a ruin nearby, something you helped build a long time ago. It holds the key to your memories and the truth about what we fought for. He hesitated. His logical mind screamed to stay put. The outpost was safe. The research data was safe. But some part of him, the part he could not ignore, urged him forward. Something deep in his chest, a spark of courage he didn't know he still had, pushed him to follow. All right, Alex said finally, his voice firmer than he felt. Lead the way. Lyra smiled, a mixture of relief and hope lighting her face. Together, they moved silently into the forest, the alien foliage brushing against their arms. The night was alive with unseen creatures, their calls echoing in the distance. The twin moons cast shadows that danced like ghosts, yet Alex did not feel fear. Not now. Not with Lyra by his side. As they walked, small fragments of memory began to surface. Flashes of battles on distant planets, strange alien landscapes, and faces of people he once knew. They were confusing and incomplete, but they felt real. He clutched his head briefly, trying to make sense of it all. Lyra noticed and spoke gently. Do not try to force it. The memories will come, step by step, moment by moment. Alex nodded, swallowing hard. He took a deep breath, feeling a strange excitement building. His life as a simple researcher was gone. Something bigger awaited. Him, something that would test his mind, his body, and his courage, and for the first time in months, Alex felt alive. Somewhere in the distance, the ruins awaited, silent and dark. But Alex did not feel fear. With Lyra guiding him, he was ready to face the truth, to remember, and maybe, just maybe, to change the course of the galaxy. The night stretched on, the wind carrying whispers of a past long forgotten. And Alex walked, forward, step by step, into a future he had once lived, and Alex followed Lyra through the alien forest, the soft glow of the twin moons lighting their path. The leaves above shimmered faintly, casting strange patterns on the ground. Every sound felt sharper, the distant calls of creatures, the rustling of plants, and the faint hum of energy from deep beneath the surface. Alex's heart raced, not from fear, but from anticipation. He wanted to know the truth about who he had been. After what felt like hours, Lyra stopped at the edge of a clearing. There, half buried in moss and alien vines, was a ruined structure. Its walls were cracked and worn, but faint lights still pulsed along the surface. The architecture was strange, both organic and mechanical at the same time. Alex felt a flicker of recognition, a strange familiarity that tugged at the edge of his mind. This is it?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. "Yes," Lyra said. "This is where it all began. The Empire thought they had destroyed every trace of us here. But they missed this place, and you, Alex, helped build it." Alex stared. "I helped build it?" Lyra nodded. "You were a strategist, an inventor. You designed many of the defenses and systems here. You saved countless lives in battles. The Empire tried to erase from history." Alex shook his head, trying to process her words. I don't remember any of that. It's like it never happened." "Not yet," Lyra said. "But it will. Come closer." She led him to the entrance, a tall archway covered in alien symbols. As Alex stepped inside, the air shifted. It felt charged, alive. In the center of the room, a circular platform glowed faintly, pulsing in rhythm with his heartbeat. Holographic panels floated in the air, flickering to life as he approached. "What is this?" Alex whispered. Lyra smiled softly. "A memory archive. This device stores experiences, not just data. It will help you remember your true past." Alex hesitated. And what if I don't like what I remember? Then you will face it, Lyra said calmly. But you need to know the galaxy is in danger and humans are the key. Taking a deep breath, Alex stepped onto the platform. The moment he did, a wave of images flooded his mind. He saw himself in strange alien landscapes, on battlefields with ships hovering overhead, coordinating attacks with alien allies. He saw himself handling strange devices, engineering solutions to problems that seemed impossible. Faces of people he didn't recognize at first, but felt familiar, flickered before his eyes. He staggered back, gripping his head. It's too much, he groaned. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. Don't fight it. Let it come. Piece by piece you will. Remember, you are stronger than you think. Alex closed his eyes, focusing on the flashes of memory. Slowly, patterns began to form. He saw a younger version of himself, alongside Lyra, planning missions to sabotage the Empire's operations. He saw humans working secretly with alien allies, coordinating strikes against heavily fortified outposts. He saw his own hands building devices that no alien could have imagined, traps, weapons, and shields that turned the tide of countless battles. I did all this, Alex whispered, awe in his voice. Yes, Lyra said. You did. You helped free thousands from the Empire's control, and you were one of the best humans they had. Alex sank to the floor, overwhelmed. And I just forgot it all? They erased most of your memories, Lyra explained. To hide the fact that humans were capable, to make the galaxy believe humans were weak, obedient, harmless. But you, Alex, were never harmless. He looked up at her, eyes wide. Why didn't anyone tell me? Why was I left alone with no memory? The Empire thought it would keep you safe, Lyra said softly. But the truth is, they wanted to control you, to make sure humans never remembered what they were capable of. That is why I had to find you. That is why I am here. Alex took a deep breath. The memories continued to surface. Missions where he and Lyra had led teams through enemy territory, inventions that had saved lives, and decisions that had cost lives too. He felt a mixture of pride and guilt, wonder and fear. I don't know if I can do it again, he admitted. I don't know if I can be that hero. Lyra knelt beside him. You don't have to do it alone. You have allies. And the Empire is not as strong as they believe. Humans are clever, adaptable, unpredictable. That is why they fear us. Alex stared at her, the old spark of determination igniting inside him. He remembered why he had fought, why he had risked everything. It was not for glory or for recognition. It was because he could not stand by while others suffered, because humans, and allies like Lyra, could make a difference. What do we do now? He asked, standing. Lyra extended her hand. We prepare. The Empire is still out there. They are experimenting, searching for humans with abilities like yours. We need to stop them before they take control. And first, we need to restore the strength of those who still remember. Step by step, we will rebuild what was lost. Alex nodded. He felt a clarity he had never experienced in months of isolation. The scientist, the lone researcher, was gone. In his place was a strategist, a warrior, a human who had once changed the course of battles, and now he would do it again. He looked at Lyra, a small smile forming. All right. Show me the way. I want to remember everything. I want to fight. And I want to win. Lyra smiled, a light of hope in her golden eyes. That is the spirit, Alex. Together, we will awaken the human potential the Empire fears. And together, we will remind the galaxy what humans are truly capable of. As they left the ruins, stepping back into the forest under the twin moons, Alex felt alive for the first time in months. The memories were still incomplete, but they were coming. Piece by piece, the past was returning, and with it, the promise of a future where humans would no longer be underestimated. The forest seemed brighter now, the night alive with possibility, and Alex, once lost in forgetfulness, walked forward with purpose, ready to reclaim his past and to shape the fate of the galaxy. Alex and Lyra moved quietly through the dense alien forest, guided by the faint light of the twin moons. The memories of his past were still fragments, but each step made him feel stronger, sharper, more aware. He had been a human of action once before, and now those instincts were returning. "The Empire has outposts here," Lyra whispered, her golden eyes scanning the shadows. "They are experimenting. They want to control humans like you, and others who can think in ways they cannot predict." Alex frowned. "Control humans? What kind of experiments?" "Testing abilities. Learning weaknesses, hunting anyone who can challenge them," Lyra said. "They have spies everywhere. That is why we must be careful." As they walked, Alex noticed strange markings on the trees and rocks, symbols that seemed both natural and artificial. "Are these warnings?" he asked. "Yes," Lyra replied. "They mark patrol routes, traps, and energy fields. The Empire thought no human could survive here, but they were wrong, and we are about to prove it." After some time, they reached a narrow canyon. Hidden among the jagged cliffs was a tunnel entrance, partially covered by alien vines. Lyra approached it cautiously, scanning the area. "This leads to an old Empire facility," she explained. "It has been abandoned for decades, but some sections are still active. They keep records of their experiments inside. You need to see them, Alex." Alex swallowed. "And if we run into patrols?" Lyra smiled faintly. "We will not. Not if we are careful. Trust me." He nodded. Together, they entered the dark tunnel. The air was cool, damp, and tinged with the metallic smell of machinery. The walls glowed faintly with alien symbols, guiding them deeper underground. Every step echoed, reminding Alex of the danger surrounding them. After a while, they reached a large chamber filled with strange devices. Some pulsed with energy, others hummed softly. Screens projected flickering images of humans and aliens in controlled experiments, learning patterns, testing reactions, and measuring strengths. Alex felt a chill. "Look at this," Lyra said, pointing to one display. They were studying human adaptability, reaction time, and strategic thinking. You were one of the first they tested." Alex's jaw tightened. They experimented on me?" Lyra shook her head. "Not directly. You were young, just a recruit. But the Empire learned from your actions, your problem-solving, your creativity. That is why they feared humans. They knew we could not be predicted, and that we could change the course of battles faster than they could adapt." Alex studied the images. He saw simulations, logs, and holograms showing humans like him navigating impossible situations, devising clever solutions, and outsmarting the Empire's technology. A small spark of pride ignited within him, mixed with anger. The Empire had tried to erase this history, but it could not hide the truth. "They never wanted anyone to know," Lyra said softly. "They underestimated humans, and that is their greatest mistake." Alex clenched his fists. "We need to stop them. If they are still experimenting, others could suffer." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. But first we need more information. The deeper tunnels hold the main data cores. That is where their records are stored. We can learn everything about their operations, their plans, and their weaknesses." Together, they moved deeper into the facility. The walls became more mechanical, the air filled with a faint electrical hum. Occasionally, small drones hovered by, scanning for intruders. Alex's instincts kicked in. He ducked behind a console as a drone passed, motionless and silent. Lyra followed, barely making a sound. "This is like old times," Alex whispered, a small grin forming. "I feel alive again." Lyra's smile was brief but warm. "Good. You need this focus. The Empire is clever, but humans are unpredictable. That is why they fear us." Finally, they reached the main chamber. 3 large consoles projected detailed maps, experimental logs, and schematics of devices Alex recognized from his memory fragments. His eyes widened. This is incredible," he said. "They never expected humans to figure this out. They assumed their experiments were foolproof." Lyra walked beside him. "And that is why we can stop them. With this knowledge, humans can strike where the Empire is weak, predict their moves, and protect those they try to control." Alex studied the data, absorbing every detail. His mind worked quickly, piecing together strategies, potential outcomes, and countermeasures. The memories of his past missions mingled with his present understanding. He was no longer just a scientist. He was a strategist, a tactician, a human capable of outthinking an empire. Suddenly, a low alarm sounded. Red lights flashed across the walls. Drones swarmed into the chamber, weapons charging. "They found us!" Lyra shouted, pulling Alex behind a large console. Alex's heart pounded. For a moment, fear tried to take hold, but then he remembered everything Lyra had told him. He remembered the humans he had fought alongside, the ingenuity and courage that had always defined them. "Stay calm," he said firmly. "Follow my lead." Lyra nodded, trusting him completely. Alex quickly analyzed the room, spotting a weak point in the drone network. He pressed a series of buttons on the console, sending a pulse that disrupted the drone's sensors. The machines faltered, spinning out of control, and crashed into the walls. Lyra stared at him, impressed. "I forgot how fast your mind works." Alex shrugged, a small smile on his face. "I remembered. Just needed a reminder." With the immediate threat neutralized, they moved deeper into the tunnels, carrying the stolen data cores. Alex felt a growing sense of purpose. The Empire's experiments were cruel and their ambition dangerous. But humans had survived worse, adapted faster, and overcome more. Together, Alex and Lyra pressed on, ready to uncover every secret the Empire had tried to hide. The galaxy was vast, dangerous, and full of unknown threats. But Alex knew one truth. Humans were clever, adaptable, and never predictable, and with that they had the power to change everything. Alex and Lyra emerged from the tunnels into the alien forest, the stolen data cores humming softly in their hands. The twin moons cast pale light over the clearing, illuminating the path to a hidden human resistance base. Hidden among jagged cliffs and alien foliage, the base was small but well fortified. It had been built by humans who remembered fragments of their past, and who refused to let the Empire erase them entirely. As they entered, several humans and alien allies looked up, surprise and hope lighting their faces. Among them was Commander Harris, a tall human with a scar running down his cheek. "Alex?" he said, disbelief in his voice. "Is it really you?" Alex nodded, holding up the data cores. "It's me, and we have what we need to fight back." Harris's eyes widened. "You brought the Empire's records?" "Yes," Alex said. "Every experiment, every patrol, every weakness they thought we didn't know about. We can use it to protect ourselves and strike where they are vulnerable." Lyra stepped beside him. "And we're not alone. Humans are clever, adaptable, and unpredictable. The Empire will soon learn that again." The base buzzed with activity. Humans studied the stolen data, analyzing experimental logs and patrol routes. Alien allies helped adapt the information to their technology. Alex moved among them, feeling a spark of pride and purpose. His mind, once quiet and idle, now raced with possibilities. Alex, Lyra said, motioning toward a group of young recruits, show them what humans can do. Alex nodded. He approached the recruits, explaining strategies, building improvised defenses, and teaching them how to combine human ingenuity with alien technology. He demonstrated clever traps that used minimal resources but could stop heavily. Armed patrols. The recruits listened, eyes wide, absorbing every word. Humans can solve problems in ways no one expects, Alex said. We adapt, we improvise, and we survive. That is our strength. Use it. The young humans practiced under his guidance, building small drones, reinforcing shelters, and testing defensive systems. Alex watched them, a smile forming. He realized that humans had not lost their ingenuity. They only needed a spark to... Remember, Lyra moved to his side. They are learning fast, she said. The Empire underestimated humans once, and they will do it again. Good, Alex replied. They need to know that thinking creatively can save lives. That is what humans do best. After hours of preparation, Alex and Lyra gathered the resistance leaders. The stolen data showed the Empire's patrols and weak points. The information was clear. A minor Empire base on the next planet over was vulnerable, lightly defended, and crucial to their operations. This is our chance, Alex said. We can strike fast, disable their operations, and prove that humans are not to be underestimated. Commander Harris nodded. We trust your judgment, Alex. What's the plan? Alex pointed to the holographic map. We divide into 2 teams. One team will create a diversion to draw their attention. The other will infiltrate the base, using the tunnels and weak points identified in the Empire's records. We use our inventions, our thinking, and our speed. The Empire won't know what. Hit them, Lyra added. Humans will lead the strike. Aliens will support and provide cover. We fight together, and we win together. The team prepared carefully, gathering equipment, reinforcing their ships, and reviewing every detail. Alex felt alive, with purpose. For months he had wandered alone, lost in memory and doubt. Now, he was part of something greater, and humans were finally taking their place as a force to be reckoned with. When the strike began, Alex led the infiltration team through the tunnels. The darkness was thick, but he moved with confidence, guiding his team past patrols and traps. Every obstacle reminded him of past missions he had once led, and he used those instincts without hesitation. The diversion team created chaos above ground, drawing the Empire's attention away. Explosions and smoke filled the sky, giving Alex's team the perfect opportunity to enter the base. Inside, they moved quickly, using clever tricks to disable security systems and confuse the Empire's forces. Alex's heart raced, not with fear, but with excitement. The humans' unpredictable thinking allowed them to outmaneuver the enemy at every turn. Lyra covered the rear, neutralizing drones and guards with precision. Her alien strength and experience complemented Alex's strategies perfectly. Together, they were unstoppable. Finally, they reached the central control room. Alex plugged in a device he had designed earlier, sending a pulse that disabled the base's communications and energy shields. Lights flickered. Alarms blared, but the resistance team pressed on, capturing key Empire officers and securing critical technology. When it was over, Alex stepped outside with Lyra, looking at the stars. The Empire's minor base was no longer a threat. The humans had proven themselves clever and resourceful, capable of outthinking a powerful enemy. Lyra smiled. You see, Alex? Humans are never predictable. That is why they fear us. That is why we will survive. Alex nodded. And that is why we can win. We fight smart, we fight together, and we adapt faster than they expect. Humans are unstoppable when they remember who they are. For the first time in months, Alex felt complete. He was no longer just a researcher cataloging plants and animals. He was a human with purpose, a strategist, a fighter, a spark of ingenuity in a galaxy that had once underestimated his kind. And as he looked at the horizon, he knew this was only the beginning. The Empire was still out there, powerful and dangerous. But humans, clever and unpredictable, were ready to face them head-on. The galaxy would soon remember the true power of human ingenuity, and Alex would make sure they never forgot. The twin moons of Viridia 9 shone pale and cold over the Resistance base as alarms echoed through the cliffs. Alex and Lyra had expected retaliation, but the scale of the attack shocked even the most seasoned members of the Resistance. Hundreds of Empire ships moved into orbit, their engines glowing red, filling the sky with menacing light. "Alex!" Commander Harris shouted, running toward him. "They're coming in full force! This is more than we expected!" Alex's eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic display of the incoming fleet. "They underestimated us before, and they are still underestimating humans," he said calmly. "Stay focused. We have a chance, and we will take it." Lyra stepped beside him, scanning the horizon. "The Empire may have numbers, but humans are clever, unpredictable. That is their weakness, and ours to exploit." The base erupted into controlled chaos as humans and alien allies prepared for the assault. Ships launched into space, weapons were armed, and defensive shields hummed to life. Alex worked quickly, directing teams to exploit weaknesses identified in the stolen Empire data. Every patrol route, every blind spot, every vulnerable shield had been mapped in advance. "Split into teams," Alex commanded. "One group distracts them in orbit, another secures the surface defenses. Follow my lead, and stay unpredictable." As the first wave of Empire fighters approached, Alex's team launched small, improvised drones designed to confuse sensors and intercept enemy targeting systems. The drones zipped through space, unpredictable and clever, making the Empire's advanced targeting software struggle. Lyra led a squadron of alien warriors alongside Alex's humans, their combined tactics a deadly mixture of speed, strategy, and ingenuity. Humans adapted in real time, changing strategies faster than the Empire could calculate. Every unexpected move drew frustrated alarms from the enemy command. "This is working!" Alex shouted, watching as the Empire's initial attack faltered. "Keep them off balance! Do not give them a pattern!" The Empire, furious, adjusted their tactics. Larger ships fired energy beams at the base, attempting to crush the Resistance before they could retaliate. But Alex had anticipated this. Using the knowledge from the stolen records, he directed a team to deploy deflector shields at precise angles, turning the Empire's energy attacks back upon their own ships. Several massive vessels exploded in flashes of red and blue light, their destruction sending shockwaves through the enemy fleet. Lyra glanced at him, a smile tugging at her lips. "Clever humans. Just like you remembered." Alex grinned. "We never forget how to adapt." Despite their successes, the Empire's reinforcements continued to pour in. Alex knew that a direct confrontation would eventually overwhelm them if they relied solely on brute force. He turned to Commander Harris. "We need to take the fight to their command ship," Alex said. "A surprise strike. If we disable their leadership, the rest of their fleet will be disorganized." Harris nodded. "We have ships ready, but it will be risky." Alex's eyes gleamed. "Risk is what humans excel at. We will succeed because they cannot predict what we will do next." Together, Alex and Lyra led a small strike team aboard nimble attack ships. Using stealth and clever navigation, they slipped past the main fleet and approached the Empire command vessel. Alex studied the schematics he had memorized from the data cores and found the optimal entry point. A lightly defended maintenance hatch. They docked quietly and moved inside, weapons ready. Alex guided his team through narrow corridors, disabling guards silently and setting small traps for the patrols. Every decision was precise, every move calculated yet unpredictable. Finally, they reached the command center. Alex placed a device on the main control panel. Lights flickered, alarms blared, and the ship's systems began to fail. He watched as the Empire officers struggled to regain control, unable to predict the sudden and clever sabotage. "It's working," Lyra whispered, her golden eyes shining. "Almost there," Alex said, adjusting the device. A pulse of energy surged through the ship, shutting down communication and propulsion systems. The Empire command vessel drifted helplessly in orbit, a massive target for the Resistance's forces outside. Back on the surface, the Resistance cheered as the Empire fleet faltered. Ships without coordination collided or retreated. Humans and alien allies had turned the tide with clever thinking and unexpected strategies. Alex looked at Lyra, his face serious but proud. "Humans are unpredictable. That is why they feared us. That is why we are winning." Lyra nodded. "And they will never forget it." The battle continued, but the outcome was clear. The Empire had underestimated humans once again, relying on brute force and rigid planning. The Resistance, led by clever strategies and human ingenuity, had proven they could overcome far greater numbers. By the end of the battle, the Empire had retreated, leaving the Resistance victorious. The base was safe, though some damage needed repair. Alex and Lyra stood together, watching the stars and the last retreating Empire ships. "Today," Alex said, "humans showed what they are capable of. Clever, adaptable, unpredictable. The Empire will think twice before underestimating us again." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. "And this is only the beginning. They will return, but so will we. Smarter, stronger, ready." Alex smiled, faintly. "Then we prepare. We use what we learned today to ensure humanity is never forgotten. The galaxy will remember humans, and not as weak pawns, but as a force that can change the course of history." The twin moons cast their light over the damaged but proud Resistance base. Humans had fought, adapted, and won against overwhelming odds. And for Alex, the memories of his past, combined with the courage of the present, had created a human spirit stronger than the Empire had ever imagined. The aftermath of the battle left the Resistance base in a tense but hopeful silence. The Empire's fleet had retreated, their massive ships glowing faintly as they disappeared into the dark reaches of space. Humans and alien allies worked side by side, repairing damage, tending to the wounded, and salvaging what they could from the scattered remnants of enemy vessels. Alex stood on a cliff overlooking the base, the twin moons reflecting in his eyes. The memories of his past were now clear. Every mission, every strategy, every risk he had taken flooding back in vivid detail. He could finally see the full picture. The Empire had underestimated humans, not just because they were fewer in number, but because humans were adaptable, unpredictable, and clever. That unpredictability had become their greatest weapon. Lyra approached him, her footsteps silent against the rocky ground. "You did well," she said softly. "Humans have shown the galaxy what they are capable of. You have reminded them." Alex shook his head, a small smile forming. "It wasn't just me. Humans fought together. We adapted. We survived. And we reminded ourselves of who we are." She nodded, her golden eyes reflecting pride. "And now the galaxy knows it too. The Empire will never look at humans the same." "Way again!" Commander Harris joined them, his face serious but relieved. "Alex, Lyra, the Resistance owes its success to your leadership. Without your strategies, the Empire might have overwhelmed us." Alex looked at him, shaking his head. "It's more than strategy. It's about remembering that humans are capable of more than anyone believes. We adapt, we create, we survive. That is the strength they never anticipated." The base buzzed, with renewed energy. Humans and alien allies were not just repairing what had been damaged, they were innovating. New defensive systems were being built, faster and smarter than before. Improvised ships were being upgraded with human-designed modifications. The stolen Empire data had provided the knowledge, but it was human creativity that turned it into power. Alex and Lyra moved through the base, helping where they could. Alex instructed teams on clever navigation strategies for space patrols. He designed traps and defenses using limited resources that could stop larger fleets. Every plan relied not on sheer strength, but on ingenuity and adaptability, qualities humans excelled at. Lyra watched him with a quiet smile. "It's remarkable," she said. "Even after all this time, humans still surprise me." Alex grinned. "That's what makes us human. We survive, we adapt, and we never give up." As night deepened, the base grew quiet. Alex and Lyra stood together on the cliff again, looking at the stars. The galaxy stretched endlessly before them, full of unknown challenges and dangers, but also full of possibility. "Do you think the Empire will return?" Alex asked, his voice calm but steady. Lyra considered it. "They might, but we have shown them that humans cannot be predicted. They cannot control us. They will think twice before challenging us again." Alex nodded, determination solidifying in his chest. "Then we prepare. We teach humans and allies to be ready, to adapt, to fight clever. The galaxy needs to see that humans are more than they imagine." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. "And we will, together, humans and allies, side by side, unstoppable because we think, adapt, and act when they least expect it." The twin moons reflected in their eyes as Alex raised his gaze to the horizon. He could see the future, a galaxy where humans were no longer underestimated, no longer pawns, but a force capable of shaping events with intellect, courage, and adaptability. He saw alliances forming between humans and alien races, a network of cooperation stronger than any single empire. Alex turned to Lyra, a determined smile on his face. "It's time humans reclaim their place in the galaxy, not with fear, not with brute force, but with what makes us unique: our mind, our creativity, and our courage." Lyra nodded. "And we will, Alex. The galaxy will remember humans, and they will never forget the lesson we have taught them." For the first time in what felt like years, Alex felt complete. His past, once a series of forgotten missions and erased memories, now formed a clear path forward. Humans had fought, adapted, and won, not just today, but for the future. And he, along with Lyra and the Resistance, would ensure that humans would never again be underestimated. The next morning, Alex walked through the base with purpose. He watched young humans practicing strategies, combining alien technology with human inventions. He saw alien allies learning to trust human creativity, following suggestions that initially seemed strange but proved deadly effective. It was a living example of what humans could accomplish: unpredictable, adaptable, and brilliant. Alex stopped for a moment, looking out over the forest and the mountains beyond. "We have changed the galaxy," he whispered to himself. "And this is only the beginning." Lyra came to his side. "The Empire may come again, but humans are ready. We have remembered who we are, and we will never forget." Alex smiled, feeling the weight of the galaxy shift on his shoulders, not as a burden, but as a responsibility. Humans were clever, adaptable, and unstoppable. They were not pawns of the Empire or any other force. They were the makers of their own destiny. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, casting long shadows across the base, Alex felt a quiet pride. He had remembered his past, reclaimed his identity, and helped awaken the potential of humans across the galaxy. The twin moons faded as the rising sun illuminated the scene. Humans and aliens worked together, preparing for whatever challenges lay ahead. And in the quiet, Alex knew one undeniable truth. The galaxy had underestimated humans for far too long, and they would never do so again. He turned to Lyra, determination in his eyes. The future is ours to shape. Let's make sure every planet, every star system, knows that humans are a force to be reckoned with. Lyra smiled, her golden eyes shining. Yes, Alex. Let's show them. And together, they stood on the cliff, looking out at the galaxy. A galaxy that would remember humans, not as weak, not as timid, but as a brilliant, unstoppable force. A galaxy that would never underestimate them again.